Salutations and welcome back. Today we're going to be checking out a game called Nova Drift. It's one of my absolute favorite roguelite experiences just out there in general. I think it's really unique. It's kind of like an arcade shooter. You'll see. It's really, really incredible. I've been playing it for quite a few years. It's one of the ones that really got me into kind of indie roguelites on PC, but I'm playing it extra because I noticed recently that they released a mobile version of it. Now I'm going to just play the PC version here, but honestly, it's a phenomenal game. Might be worth checking out in the mobile version. So there are some challenge things on, so I enjoy it to go pretty quickly into the high ranking stuff, but just for today, for this first little check, we're gonna turn them all off and we're gonna go on in. So you are a ship. So I'm playing it with the gamepad today, and as you can see, it's pretty straightforward, right? One button makes you accelerate forward, one button makes you shoot. And as you see, I am ready to upgrade, so let's get our first level. And so the first thing that we're going to have an option for is changing out our gun. There's a lot of different versions. So obviously here's a rail gun as the primary one. As you can see, it fires basically a long kind of sniper beam and kind of a short little shotgun fire around it. There's this thermal lance, which is, I guess kind of what it sounds like. It's like a damage over time beam. It's very similar to a skill in Path of Exile, actually. This vortex is pretty cool. It's pretty fun to watch. It's like a lightning orb that you shoot out, basically, that pulls stuff in and burns them. It's kind of crazy looking. Pulse is really fun. This isn't even all the possible weapons, by the way. This is just what happened to roll as our options here. So this makes a big pulse around you. You kind of have a little nova that shoots out from you. And then here's what we're actually going to take, the salvo, which is just whenever you're not firing, you're stockpiling rockets, and then when you fire, you let them all go. So as you can see down at the bottom there, there's a number counting up. We're at 28 right now. Let's let it go. Oh yeah, very, very fun, if you ask me. It's one of my favorite weapons, so it seems like a perfect thing to showcase. So this little yellow guy, he gives me loot, so I want to do everything I can to destroy him easily. And look at that, I got a couple levels up. Gonna blow up these things. All right, let's level up. All right, so now we get to switch out our shield type. So there's quite a few, and honestly, I'm more agnostic with the shields. There's a few that I like, but I don't feel quite as strongly. I like basically all of them. And they're all so radically different. There's so many different versions of your ship that you can build throughout this. I do think, so the shockwave one's pretty cool. It kind of comes and goes out and around, and then when it gets broken, it explodes out and deals some damage. It's pretty awesome. Warp teleports you, to be honest. Warp's kind of interesting. It is kind of a fun one. So maybe we should do it. It's a little more visually interesting than some of these other ones. I love Reflect. Reflect is maybe like kind of my baseline favorite because it's just always good. Orbital can be pretty hard to do, to use well. It's a shield that primarily focuses on damaging people. Similar to kind of the shockwave. So you have some that are better at defending you and some that are better at killing others. Siphon is one of those also. We actually rolled kind of a lot of damaging shields here. I think that I'm going to take warp just because it really is quite entertaining. We got our next level up also, which lets us have a different body style. And they really, really impact it. So like this Sentinel, this focuses on shields. So if we had taken previously one of the more damage focused ones, which warp kind of is, but less so than some of the others, we might have wanted to take the Sentinel and make ourselves like a primarily shield build. We have Hullbreaker, which means that we literally want to go and accelerate into enemies and smash them by hitting them with our ship rather than hitting them with weapons, which also would have been pretty good with some of those like area focus damaging shields. Engineer is pretty awesome. It lets us get more constructs, which can be drones, they can be mines, there's various things. So it's pretty fun. And honestly, drones and mines do tend to work pretty well with the rockets that I have, because it means that there's something still happening in the downtime between me firing. Carrier, similarly, is also a construct-focused one, but instead of just enhancing the amount of constructs that you can, like, have out, this gives you specific constructs, and honestly, they're pretty great, and we might take Carrier. It's just a very fun build. Or we have Assault, which... I mean, Assault is pretty good. It just makes your weapon way better. It's kind of the weapon-focused one. I think that... I don't know. It's hard between Assault and Carrier. You know what? Let's keep it simple for everybody for this first round. We're going to take Assault. And then now we get into kind of the main meat of the game here, which is you get these upgrades. So when you level up, you have these various upgrades, and all of them kind of dramatically change how your weapons work, your shields work. So you can see this ally, so these yellow coated ones, it's a little hard to tell the color, but this like yellowy orange color, these are all going to be construct focused. So this turret's a construct, the drones are a construct, and the ally is a construct. Ally is honestly pretty sweet, and would be really good with my rockets, but I think for right now, especially since we took the Assault body, we're going to focus on just making our rockets awesome. And so these red ones are focused on your primary weapon, and then the purple one over there is focused on your shield. You also can, if you want to, switch out your weapons, your shield, your body. So say you find yourself kind of aligning with something down the line in your upgrades that's even better. Well, there you go. You can switch out. So magnitude is very good. Not just for its own sake, which the bigger projectile size, the bigger damage, the bigger blast radius, all are great with these rockets, but it unlocks a few upgrades that are pretty awesome. Also, bigger blast radius, though, is really quite good with these salvos, to be honest. But I also really like velocity. It's surprising how much having it go fast really helps. But because I love the upgrades that come from magnitude, we're taking magnitude. And we're immediately getting back into it. Oh, and we're blowing some guys up. Oh, we're getting out of the way of those. So it's been a long time since I've played, so I might be a little rusty. So I'll probably get hit by some stuff that is maybe a little embarrassing to get hit by. And so as you can see, I can't really aim these. I cannot really aim these rockets, but there will be some upgrades that will help improve their targeting. And those are fairly high priority for me, to be honest. So early on, getting fairly close to guys and using it a little bit more like a shotgun can be quite helpful. All right, let's see what our next upgrade is. So I love Splinter. Splinter means that our bullets explode into more bullets. And so in the case of our salvo, that means all of our rockets explode into more rockets. It's just immediately awesome. Payload is great, though. It adds a lot of damage, adds more projectile size, which, you know, makes it harder to miss, right? Because our things are just larger and are more likely to hit. Rapid fire is also really good. So the increased weapon fire rate will actually increase the stacks that we receive. So it's also very good, and realistically is maybe the smartest choice here, but it's not as interesting as Splinter. Splinter's just so fun. Hull strength, 20% maximum hull, very, very solid. The regen, also very solid. In fact, I love regen. Regen's one of my favorite upgrades. It's one that I often prioritize over all else. Shield effect radius is actually really interesting with our warp shields, probably pretty strong. And the faster cooldown on our shield is good too, because the way that shields work in this, and each shield has its own inherent cooldown rate. If you ever played like Borderlands, for instance, I think you'll have a good idea of this, which is different shields have different sizes. So that's like the total amount of health. And then when they are depleted, they take a certain amount of time before they start to recharge back. And that's your cooldown. And so some shields, for instance, have very low total health, but they recharge faster. And other ones, you know, have huge health, so they're pretty hard to knock down, but they take forever, and you have to, like, avoid being damaged for a long time. But we're going to take the Splinter, and we're going to keep it moving. And look at that. Look at how many I have already. Look at how entertaining that is. And it really helps with the aiming problem also, because suddenly they're firing off in basically every direction. So these asteroids, sometimes you bust them open and they've got stuff in them. Not always, but occasionally. So we got another level. I promise once people get a little more used to what's kind of going on here, the level ups happen a little faster. So volley is great. It means that I get more projectiles. So when I fire, I get more of them. I mean, it's pretty awesome. I will say salvo, the way it works, I already do kind of have certain projectiles. Also, as you can see, I have 9 rerolls. So I have plenty of rerolls, but I think for now, I'm going to not focus on the rerolls kind of in this first look for people. I think I'm going to get targeting though, because like I was saying, I was complaining earlier about the lack of targeting on my salvo, and you will see it makes a pretty massive difference. So as you can see too, this as you just saw there, I went off of the screen and I pop up on the other side of the screen. But so that guy previously, let's get out of the way of that. That little like thermal lance that guy had. All right, let's upgrade quick. Homing strike is really interesting. So as you can see, it says firing your weapon launches a small pair of. Firing your weapon launches a pair of smaller weapon projectiles from your broadsides. Launches an additional pair for every 5 of your weapon projectiles. Obviously, we stack up a bunch of projectiles. It's actually quite good for us. But those extra little projectiles, they don't really do very much damage. It's helpful to have extra. It's really good. So for instance, like against that last guy who was making a lot of little enemies where they all have to get hit by an individual rocket. It's helpful in that it takes out some of those. I will say we've been focusing almost entirely on damage. We should probably get some survivability soon, and this isn't my favorite upgrade, although I do like anything that just puts more weapons out there. After I fire my weapon, targets take extra crash damage. I have no interest in that. Not only do I not fire very frequently, I don't have like a particularly good crash build. Like I said before, regen is incredible. I like it a lot. So I am likely to take that. Hull strength is great. Improved thrusters is okay. It helps you get out of the way of stuff. It also, if you are crash build, it's beneficial to go faster. Adaptive armor is also quite good. It's much better, I think, than my initial reading of it was. But we're going to take the regeneration. So here's our first little boss. As you can see, that's his health up top. We've already done an incredible amount of damage to him. We're gonna, just barely dodge those guys, which is good. And we'll pop in the back here, and we'll fire. And so as you can see, this game is gorgeous, right? I mean, it is just such a beautiful game. And I can't express to you just how deep it really is. Like, I'm sure you can see with all of the options that I'm being provided, that there's quite a bit of depth here, but I really think it is even more than it kind of lets on initially. Charge shot, genuinely I have no idea how charge shot works with the salvo. So I can hold fire to charge my weapon, which makes me have more damage and blast radius and stuff. I don't know how it works with salvo. I think I've probably done it in the past, but I'm not sure. I want to take regenerative shields. Regenerative shields is very good. Again, it's kind of a very strong passive health regeneration situation. Should we take charge shot and see how it works? Why not? Let's see. Let's find out. So we got a couple of upgrades, so that's nice. Stacked up. Adaptive armor, like I said, was very good. Rapid reconstruction can be incredibly good if you don't care about your shield and you just make your hull much better. Stabilization. I don't remember what that one is. Like I said, it's been a while since I've played. So as you can see, efficiency, when you're not firing, 20% total regen, and when you're not firing, 20% faster total shield cooldown. That's obviously incredible for salvo, given that I am quite often not firing. So we're going to take efficiency. Let's see, what happens if I hold it? Oh, charge shot seems quite interesting, doesn't it? I really can charge up quite a large shot with these. Oh, charge shot plus salvo seems incredibly good. But yeah, there's nothing quite like salvo for like just one shot taking out the whole map. It's fun to watch a bunch of guys show up, and then you let your charge shot go, and they all go away. Let's see. And in that context, I meant to charge shot at... Whoa, that was really interesting looking. I don't even know what happened there. But I just mean in the amounts of... Ooh. The warp keeps happening, and I keep thinking I've died because my ship disappears. I thought, I'm nowhere near dying. Why did I just die? Makes sense. All right, so... We're going to keep looking through these briefly, but I'm going to kind of speed up each of these as we go along. So there's some mines, which are very interesting. Some shield stuff that honestly I don't care that much about. I've taken a few survivability things, so I think I'm going to just continue to focus on damage. And like I said before, blast radius works wonders with the salvo. All right. I wonder, that efficiency thing that I got, that, you know, requires me to not be firing. I'm very curious if that applies to my... Oh, well, I'm holding my charge shot. But for now, we are going to take volley. We are going to stack up very many of these rockets. So, like, look at this right now. 74? Man. 74? Enemies no more. Something along those lines, certainly. But yeah, charge shot feels so natural with the salvo because you're already not firing most of the time. So it's like you just get to have kind of the best of both worlds here. Yes, guidance is very, very good. It does make your rockets slower, which is a little unfortunate, but the greatly improved targeting is just so wonderful. And obviously, you can counteract it in the future with something like velocity here. So like I said, I'm going to go over each of these, but I'm not going to talk about them anymore. But I am going to go over them, so if you want to check back, you can see them. I am definitely going to take guidance here. Guidance is incredible for a salvo. Like, watch this. All of those hit. I mean, until there was no enemies, but they all hit until then. Watch. I will shoot here, and I will hit a great deal of them that were behind me. So, for a weapon like this, often staying perched in a corner can be very effective, but as you can see right there, guys will come up right behind you. And so, without kind of having that buffer around yourself, it can be easier to get hit somewhat out of the blue. And oftentimes I find those are the things that kill me the most. So I am absolutely going to be taking Convergence here, which just makes my weapon targeting even better and adds more projectiles. It adds more spread, but it doesn't matter because the targeting is so good. Payload is incredible. Payload is a really, really good option. The shield cooldown's great. Drones are great. Adaptive armor, as we've seen, very good. Mines and hull strength, but we are absolutely going to be taking Convergence here. So I will say I've played this keyboard and mouse, and it is actually pretty good keyboard and mouse. So here is another boss, and I am just going to be holding fire for a moment and dodging them so that I can have quite a few to shoot. And I am actually going to go shoot into its little open mouth over here. It's kind of the best way to ensure maximum damage. Oh my. Well, we have quite a bit of damage built up, don't we, folks? And in 3 shots, he is gone. 2 shots almost got me there. That was incredible. So we could take something like Focus Fire, but like I said before, the Convergence kind of takes care of that. We don't really need to be too worried about how much spread we have. If you're going to try and like shotgun people down, it is really beneficial for a salvo, but otherwise it's nothing too crazy. Honestly, having some sort of ally would probably be beneficial. So Concentrated Blast can be incredible under the right circumstances, but you have to have kind of a fairly sizable blast radius for it to be quite good. I will say, as you can see over there, though, it does unlock... here, I'll show you with my little cursor. It does unlock a super mod, and some of them are very good. This one is quite good because it lets you shoot down projectiles. But the problem is you do a lot of damage to yourself every time you shoot. So, you know, it's kind of a difficult sell in some ways. I think that I am going to take regenerative shields here. I do think... by the way, don't go into the black hole. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I would recommend against it. It really wants to take me in. But I'm not going to let it. And so, we've passed our first boss. And the enemies will get more difficult. And so, like, for instance, if you look at this guy with his kind of pokey head. Whew, I just ran into those mines. It was not my wisest decision. So if you see this guy with his pokey head, that is shielded. It takes less damage. Oh, let's get out of the way. There we go. Nice, leveled up again. Let's see, what would we like for our next one? Firing array is very good. So, it makes certain projectiles bigger than others. The bigger ones do more damage. It's interesting. It makes some ones better and some worse, which you would think might be bad for salvo, but honestly it's usually pretty good for salvo, because a lot of your projectiles, you don't care how much damage they have, you just want them to hit things like mines or like very small enemies. Yeah, it's quite good, and it unlocks Fusillade, which I definitely would like, which just adds a bunch more rockets. Adreno module is honestly quite incredible and has saved me many times. Payload, as we've discussed, very good. Gemini Protocol, if you have the right build, is maybe the single best upgrade in the entire game for survivability, because it splits your things across your hull and shields. It's quite good. High explosive I would like rather than the concentrated one, so I will get that, but not over firing array. And so you'll see when I let go of these, I guess it's kind of hard to see, but some are much larger. Maybe not much larger, but certainly noticeably larger than others. And how large they are determines how much damage they do. Alright, let's get our next upgrade. I do not want Concentrated Blast. Rapid Fire is great. It will just stack up the amount of rockets that I have to fire faster. And honestly, I think I would rather have more rockets rather than the rockets hit faster, at least for now. And so because of that, I am going to take Rapid Fire. I am getting baited, though, into just taking lots and lots of damage, which is often a recipe for disaster. You cannot completely ignore your survivability in this game, as tempting as it may be, because it's just so fun to watch all of these rockets fire, right? I mean, like, look at how many there are. I like to take some time and stack them up. Like, see, like, this dude's not really pressuring me. Oh. Until I was doing my charge shot. But it's just so fun to see that many pop out. I'm actually shooting too close to them now. So early on, you want to be doing a sort of shotgun approach. But later on, when you have really good targeting, it's actually beneficial to be farther away. Nice. Another level up. Warpath is very good, actually. So there are certain times where there are many, many, many enemies that all come on screen at once. Because of the way that you shoot your salvo, you destroy them all very close to one another. And so your stacks, like, all stack up together really high, really fast. And then they kind of prepare your next salvo, and then you keep doing it that way. It's very good. I will say burst fire. Not exactly sure how it works, truthfully, with the salvo. Might be incredible. I'm not sure. But we're going to take Warpath because it really, for certain moments, is just insanely good. So like right here, for instance, I'm likely to destroy many enemies. And yes, you can see how fast my salvo was stacking back up. But like I said, I'm not actually sure how burst firing affects my salvo. Because if it were to like make my salvo happen with the full amount of rockets multiple times, that's almost certainly superior. But I haven't played enough of this game to remember all of those sorts of things. So siege weaponry, unfortunately, increases my rate of fire every time I fire consecutively. Oh, or while charging it, I do actually charge it now. So maybe siege weaponry is actually really good for me. Normally with salvo, it is not good. It does basically nothing. Because, you know, you don't fire very often. Homing strike would be interesting to add on. Velocity is so good. But let's try out siege weaponry. I'm actually not sure. Oh yeah, it stacks up quite quickly. Gotta get out of that guy's way. Oh, let's get going. And that's it, man. That's the end. Honestly, I died to siege weaponry there. I couldn't move fast enough. I couldn't move fast enough because my thrust was bad. Well, I think this game is so good, it makes me want to just immediately jump back in. But I think for now, we'll leave it there. Just a quick little first look. I'll probably come back to this a few times. So if you enjoyed it, please say so. Because, you know, lately I've been trying to mostly focus on kind of newer games, things I think people might be interested in seeing that they haven't seen before. With a game like this that's a little older, I'm not sure. I think maybe a lot of my audience has already seen it, but just in case they haven't, I mean, this is one of my absolute favorites. And so if you liked it and you like seeing some of these older ones, please let me know. So that way I'll, you know, do more similar things in the future. But yeah, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for spending your time here and watching it with me. I really appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and goodbye.